Year 9, today we are looking at percentages. Firstly, a definition. A percentage is a fraction out of 100. It's what part do you have out of 100. Cent is the word for 100, century, for example. We might think cents, as in there's 100 cents in a dollar, but really it's a fraction out of 100. Today we want to very quickly go through converting between percentages, fractions and decimals, and most of it we can actually do with a calculator, so that makes it easy. To convert to a fraction, if you've got, for example, a percentage, you write it with a denominator of 100 and simplify. To convert to a decimal, just divide the decimal by 100. You can actually do that without a calculator, it's really easy. To convert to a percentage, multiply by 100%, and when we do it on the calculator, it's very easy. So let's look at some examples. You should have those notes down by now. Here are my examples, and what I'm actually going to do, you won't necessarily see me on the screen, but I do have a calculator that I'm going to use to try and make this a bit easier for us to do. So, first question is, convert 5.5% to a simplified fraction. Now, if I was doing this by hand, really what I'm doing is said to convert from a percentage to a fraction, all right, I divide by 100. But that's pretty tricky to do, okay? 5.5%. Instead, I should be able to use my calculator, all right? But I need to show you the instructions on how to do this. So you need to look carefully at the screen on what I do. So first thing I do, I need to get my fraction. And I need to press Shift and then this button here, which has a fraction that is like that, okay, a mixed numeral fraction. I then enter the numbers in, so I'm going to have a 5 as the first number, and then I need to go up to there, which it doesn't easily do, except if I press, the right button, and then I get 1, press the right button again to enter the 2. And then go right again to get out of the fraction. I then divide by 100. And press equal. So I'm just typing it in as it is. And look, it gives me the answer, 11 out of 200. So to convert that, that's what we get, 11 out of 200. That's how we convert a fraction, a percentage to a fraction. And I've done it with the hardest example, which happens to be a fraction percentage. Question 2, 3.5% to a decimal. It's really easy, this one, because it's 3.5 out of 100. All we have to do is actually divide by 100 again, and what you end up with is 0.035. That's all I've done, the same thing. I've divided by 100, and I've got that as a decimal. Question 3. Convert the following to a percentage. 0.085. All right. Now to convert to a percentage, I multiply by 100%. Let's do it on the calculator so you can see it. So here's my calculator. I clear what's on the screen. I take 0.085. And then I multiply by 100. Okay, let's press equals, and it's 8.5%. All right, 8.5%. All I've basically done is move the decimal point 2 places to the right. I'm going to do the same thing here. I don't feel like going and typing it all in. That's 30%. Make sure you add the 0. You multiply by 100. 5/6. Now, that's a tricky one. Some of us may know our fractions to decimals off the top of our head. But why don't we just make it easy? Again, grab your calculator. This time we just press the fraction button. 5/6 times 100 equals 250 over 3. That's as a fraction. A better fraction could be that, or a decimal. So that is equal to 83. Now, and look, what's that I've got there? 0.3. Does anyone know? Yes. Yeah, recurring, repeated. So you can just put a dot above it. That indicates recurring. Or, hopefully you know that 0.3 repeater is a third. So it's a percentage. All right, 83 1/3%. That's how we convert two percentages. All right. Hopefully you've got those examples with those answers down. It's pretty straightforward stuff. So let's keep going, because we've got one more question that I want us to do. This question asks us to order these fractions, decimals, and percentages. Now again, you can use the calculator to do this. I'm actually going to do it a bit quicker because I can do it in my head. Somebody taught me years ago how to convert these straight away. Now the easiest thing is either convert them to a percentage or convert them to a decimal. Don't try and deal with fractions. Remember to compare fractions, you have to have the same denominator. So let's steer clear of the fractions. Let's go for either decimals or percentages. What I do know, 3/5. Does anyone know what 3/5 is as a decimal? Okay, could be worth learning. It is 0.6. Okay? 5%. What is 5% as a decimal? We just did these ones. Okay, I saw someone whisper it to me, 0.05. All right? That's 5% as a decimal. 0.5 is 0.5 as a decimal. Okay, now 5/9. You may not know this one, that's all right, but it happens to be 0.5 repeater. Okay, so 0.5555555. Now we want to get it in order. Oh, have I written the question up? I meant to. I apologise. We want to get it in descending order. That means from biggest to smallest. Which one is the biggest here?
0.5 meter.
Not quite. What about this one?
That one.
Yeah, that would be good. 0.6 is bigger. So our order would be 0.6. That's number one. So then what is it?
What?
What's the next one?
0.5. Repeater.
Yeah. So that's the second one. 0.5 repeater. What's the third one then?
0.5.
Good work. 0.5, which means our fourth one, we've only got one left, 0.05. Now, I then like to put it back into what the original question was, which is, so it becomes 3/5, becomes 5/9, then it's 0.5, then it's 5%. All right? I've now got them in descending order, largest to smallest. I've worked pretty quickly through this year 9. There's a sense where I'm sort of assuming you know what we're doing, but as I have told you so many times, to do this well, we need to practice, practice, practice. So let's do that now.